Hey, what's up? It's Garsen again, and today we're just going to keep it cool with a chill video talking about the Mourning Frost. So, I have it here at level 3 on a Sorcerer. Maybe you wanted to get this weapon really early on. Mourning Frost is pretty cool. In fact, I got some notes on it, so let's pull up the whiteboard. So, real quick, an overview about the Mourning Frost is we're going to be getting it pretty early. We can get it as soon as level 3. That means as soon as you come out of the goblin fight in front of the grove. But the Mourning Frost itself is, as you can see on the stats, it's a unique staff. It's amazing for ice sorceries or any kind of ideas for using cold damage. It also gives you a cantrip for free, the Ray of Frost cantrip, and it works off of any of your spell modifiers. So, you know, if you wanted a barbarian spellcaster, you could do it really early. You could be casting a Ray of Frost with your charisma. Or maybe there's a fighter and you can be using your intelligence. So there's some wacky stuff you can do with it. Some staffs give you, you know, Ray of Frost or Firebolt. But this also gives you a little extra cold damage. We'll actually look at it in game. Heart of Ice gives you 1 extra cold damage, and apparently, I still don't know how this really works, but frostbitten creatures also take an additional damage. That's pretty cool. Insidious Cold means you actually can potentially chill something when you do cold damage with a spell or a cantrip. It does work on Ray of Frost, of course. It's giving you Ray of Frost here, right? So it can even give you the chilled condition, possibly chilled. And of course, cold damage is pretty good because if you have the wet condition applied, you actually do double the damage with your cold damage. So this could be really powerful early on, but maybe you just want it super early, get a character started, you've been interested in the sorcerer build, you've heard of this already. I'm going to show you how to get it pretty quickly. But first off, just some notes, and we'll scroll down a little bit. So you can get this as soon as the grove fight. Basically, once you fight all the goblins, enter the grove, you're like just maybe level 3. Maybe you want to check out my old video or previous video. I'll link it in the description, but you can get to the Underdark like straight out the gate. You'll just need Disguise Self, so maybe Shadowheart as a trickery cleric, or any way you want to get that. You basically just use a female drow, and then you can use Disguise Self to actually get in the Underdark. So check out the video, it's pretty quick, doesn't take a lot of time. And then once you're down, you have to find 3 pieces of the staff. They're in the Underdark. So let's actually look at some recommended characters for the method I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to load it up. We'll do it together. Let's go right here. Pop in, and while we're popping in, let me just go over some of the characters you're going to need. You need some kind of sorcerer or mage, really anything with a range attack, but you're going to need Misty Step, and you're going to need invisibility. Okay, pretty important. You're also ideally going to want a rogue or a bard. We have to use sleight of hand to pickpocket somebody, so you probably want expertise and a lot of dexterity for your sleight of hand roll, and it helps to have guidance, or a cleric in general is pretty good because we can get a pretty good boot while we're on the way using, if you have a way to basically heal or an antidote or a way to heal poison, a cleric can help with that as well. I'll show you in a moment, but let's just go over it one more time. We have our wizard here, Gale. He has Firebolt, cool. So we're going to be using Firebolt, invisibility. Let's set up invisibility and Misty Step real quick. Misty Step, invisibility, cool, that's all we'll need. We'll get him ready for step 1. Okay, back it up, and then we'll get the other characters over here. We'll go to the Myconid colony in a moment, but first I wanted to show you I'm using Asterion. He's got high sleight of hand. With guidance, we'll give him a 1d4 bonus, so he has a +7 plus 1d4 when rolling. He has high dexterity to boost it, and he has expertise from rogue to get his proficiency doubled on sleight of hand. And a bard can do that too. In fact, you might just want to use a bard for that. But a bard is going to need invisibility, so we have another extra 2 charges for invisibility, and we'll see how we need to use all that. Lastly, you can use Disguise Self in various ways to get down here in the Underdark and get around in the Underdark, but also we're going to need guidance. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so let me just unclick this. There we go. And we'll need to Disguise Self. So these are what you need. So let's get actually to it. Let's go with the first part. So the first part is right here in the Selûnite Outpost. If you don't know where we're at, or the Selûnite Outpost, Basically, it's under the goblin camp. Like I said, check out how to get under there. But first, we're going to need to deal with Dorn. He's holding the first piece, and he's guarded by a dangerous spectator that we really don't want to fight at level 3, right? So, we're level 3 wizard. We're just going to come over here. First things first. You want to be careful in this part. That's why we're doing it first. We'll blow these up. We have to get down here later. And honestly, you want to be as far back as possible. Right here is Dorn. Let's take a look at him. He's petrified Drow, but hold on. Don't move, buddy. Alright. So hover over Dorn here. He's called Petrified Drow. His name's Dorn or something like that. But he's resistant to everything because he's stone. He's not going to attack you. He's not going to hurt you. You can throw as many projectiles as you want at him. But the dangerous thing is the spectator's going to pop up, right? It's going to cause a little cutscene. You're going to be surprised, so you want to immediately get the hell out of there. Walk back before this thing comes over and starts a fight with you. So this is going to be a little long-winded, just bear with me. Now, while we're waiting for him, what you want is for the spectator to get basically where Dorn is, a little bit further, so you're not in range of combat, and you want to maximize your range of your projectile. Obviously, don't hit the spectator. And you're going to try and hit the statue, Dorn, as many times as you can until the spectator's coming back and it gets a little too dangerous to keep hitting something nearby, okay? Also, I want to note, while he's floating around right here and we're waiting, you can find, there is a, what is it? There's a little potion you can throw at Dorn that actually, it's called Basilisk Oil, that's right. You can get a Basilisk Oil in the Blighted Village, in the apothecary cellar. So that's a really quick way of getting something, but honestly, you don't even need it. That's what I wanted to show you. If you've got a little bit of time, you're still getting this very early, and just end up killing Dorn. Okay, so he's dead now. So, obviously, the spectator's the problem, right? Well, that's why we decided to get invisibility. And we don't even need to stop, use turn-based, but you can if you want to maximize the 10 turns you have for invisible. So if we're invisible, we can just casually walk down here. But here's what I'm going to kind of go over the notes for real quick, okay? So getting back to the notes, you're going to hit Dorn, like I said. You can get Basilisk Oil, but it's not even required. You're going to use invisibility to avoid combat with the spectator. Now when you're looting, I want you to send it to another character to avoid revealing the invisibility and getting Gale killed, okay? So maybe hide, just in case. Maybe go turn-based, just in case. Give yourself all the time in the world. Open up his inventory, and instead of throwing it into Gale's inventory, like picking it up, we're just actually going to just send it over to another character. We won't be revealed, okay? Which means we can actually hop out of turn-based mode, walk back, and even just teleport safely to the Selûnite outpost. Cool. There we go. And double check. We sent it over. There it is. We have the first piece, the icy helve. Alright, so moving on to the Myconids. Let me actually show you how to get there real quick. This is why it helps to have a cleric with Disguise Self. If you're looking at the waypoint in the Selûnite, you can actually find this little hole here. Enter through here. Be careful. You don't want to piss off the Minotaur. Let him just suicide. Let's walk on over here. I'm sure you know how to get to the Myconid colony, but if you just got here through the Selûnite outpost, you can get here pretty quickly without any troubles. If you get next to these mushrooms, yeah, thanks Shadowheart. Thanks for the demo. Don't worry, it won't kill you. Just a little minor nuisance. Anyway, come on down here. Right about here, I usually recommend hitting dash, pausing. The Boulette is going to try and interrupt us if we pause the game ahead of time and just run over to this ledge. We don't have to worry about him. We can hop down here, take a little damage, no big deal.
This place is ready to collapse.
Alright, so we avoid the super scary, dangerous Boulette.
No love lost between
Come over here and safely attack these mushrooms. They're going to explode. Just ignore the voices of your schizophrenia, no big deal. And then blow up some more mushrooms. And the most wonderful thing about this is, even though we're killing
The other
mushrooms,
mushrooms are.
mushroom people have no problem with us. Just don't attack anybody in here. Alright. You do you. You can have whatever lore you want here, but if you're trying to get this thing, my recommendation is just be truthful. Tell them why you're here. Just here to help, bro. So if you have an antidote, now that we're in the Myconid colony, if you have an antidote, or even better, a cleric, you can come on up here. A little bonus to the video, you can get some really good boots early on in Act 1. These can even take you to the Underdark if you maybe watch a certain video, maybe. But what we'll do is we'll switch over and we'll get Lesser Restoration set up. Get maybe the boots right here.
Eva, I'm finally dead.
Just say, of course I was here to help. Yeah.
Coles garters. Oh,
You're in no
I got
condition.
away, but not
And
close.
alright, I'll help you
Thanks.
people. If you agree to help,
up.
she'll give you some cool boots. That's amazing. Alright, just a little bonus to the video, but they're somewhat relevant. Let's bring the team over. And we can actually get on to the next part of getting this. So we'll hop on over to the Myconid colony. And we'll go ahead, get everybody set up over here. This part's super easy. So, you don't need to fight the Dwergar. You don't even need to talk to Mr. Myconid King. What you need to do is have Misty Step, right? You just need to come into here, get into the Myconid colony, and Gale is about to do the next part pretty easily. Are you ready for this? All you have to do is walk over here and have a Misty Step ready. There's a few ways to get a scroll if you don't want a wizard to do this, but this is pretty easy. You just warp in. So apparently there's some line of sight silliness going on from here to here that you can just Misty Step in, and then as long as you're the one to pick it up while in this, no one can see you technically stealing from the corpse. And you might as well pick up the rest of the stuff, but just for the heck of it, we're going to take this helmet as well. So we can now leave Gale in jail. He has no more spell slots. This is why it's kind of nice to have a bard who can cast Invis on themselves or on the thief. But yeah, so just to cover, you don't even need to fight the Dwergar. You just Misty Step into the room, probably grab that helmet, maybe it's useful. And of course, we have the boots from earlier, so now here we go. The last part is a little trickier. I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. There is some room for error. Sorry, it's kind of out of your control. If you want to do a lot more setup to get your thief ready with, maybe there's a certain video for getting a lot of sleight of hand stuff. Okay, but enough of jokes. Basically, high dexterity, expertise from a bard or a rogue. You're going to be able to equip those boots of speed. This will give you a bonus action to get a lot of run, like movement distance. Okay. Just for the heck of it, we're going to put that helmet on. Schnazzy. What this does is it gives us 2 turns of invisibility. Okay. But it's more reliable to have a character who can cast invisibility on us. That's why we have it right here. And we're going to take our cleric friend as well. And let's go ahead, group up. Sorry, Gale, you're not coming with us. But yeah, we want to have guidance, or maybe you have the silver pendant and you can run guidance. So let's bring us all the way over here. Coming out of the other end of the Myconid colony, we're going to walk over here. We're going to go towards these hook horrors on the Susser tree. This is the safer route. There's a like a more northern path, a southern path, I think. Or maybe I have that backwards, but just come on down. You're going to get interrupted by the bullet. He's not dangerous, don't worry. I don't think I've ever been attacked right here. He will attack if you step in the wrong area over here. So my recommendation is come over to this tree, have a little party, and maybe hide the party actually. Have team stealth. Okay, so let's go over this real quick. You want to stay just out of the sight of the hook horrors, the raptors over here. Okay, hook horrors. We're going to have our thief ready, Asterion, ungroup the party.
You won't have any teeth to chew it with
Okay,
soon enough.
and we're going to get Asterion prepped. What we're going to do is use guidance on our pickpocket, and then we're going to use invisibility on him, and we're going to sneak him over, casually get up the branches to get to Philro. Okay, so real quick, let's go ahead, get him set up. We need to cast guidance in real time, and we'll cast invisibility in real time. And I'm gonna recommend, if you haven't done this before, just hit turn turn-based mode. So you have effectively 9 turns to get him over there. Rogues already have a bonus action to dash, but if you have the boots, I guess any character with thieving can do this. So we're going to hit dash and click heals. This is going to really increase our movement. So we'll just sneak across. You don't really even need to be sneaking just yet,
Something about that tree.
but just bear with me.
Almost like an invisible hand pulling me towards it.
Over there,
Okie dokie.
another friendly little critter.
So like I said, get the invisibility, get guidance, and sneak across. Use maybe turn-based mode to make this easier so you're not wasting, you know, precious turns of your buffs. We'll come up here with another dash and double dash basically. Okay. And there's Philro right there. So we'll set up just behind him. And again, if you were already crouched, you wouldn't have to waste a turn crouching, and you can get right to the pickpocketing. So we ran out of actions for now. Let's end the turn, and the turn, and the turn, and let's go back to our notes. So you should have a fair chance to steal it on this part. If you fail, it's gonna be okay. I'll get to that in a minute, but maybe you should have bought, I probably should have done that. So we can actually go back to like Gale and get an invisibility potion, but bear with me. Let's see how we do right here, okay? So we have our action, our bonus action. That's pretty good. So what we'll do is sneak up to him, pickpocket him, and since we have guidance, we have a little boost to this. It's gonna be the icy crystal. Whoopsie. And pickpocket. And this is the only thing we need from him. We just have a target of 9. Should be pretty good. Hey, we got it. Alright. Awesome. Now, because we're in turn-based mode and we've pickpocketed somebody, we've been revealed. Ruh-roh. Okay. So we can see where we've been spotted. So we have just enough time in turn-based mode to maybe jet out of there. Okay. Use click heals or your rogue bonus action, cunning action, and you can get the hell out of dodge. Alright. Now, can end the turn again. I don't think we'll be spotted. Alright, cool. And maybe use one more turn and the dash boost to get the hell out of there. We might get interrupted by the boulette, just bear with me. I think we're just far enough away that we can come out of turn-based and hop on over to the colony. Okay, so there we go. We did it. So one thing I do want to reference real quick, because I am assuming you're on honor mode trying to get this. Honor mode, a little trickier, otherwise you can just reload. If you fail, it's okay to an extent. You could probably just revive Asterion, right, back at camp, talk to Withers, revive him, because he's gonna obviously get mauled by a bunch of hook cores and Philro. No big deal. You can just revive him, cast invisibility, try it again, or you could just go get more stuff to boost your sleight of hand to really ensure that you'll get it, or you can try crazy stuff like divination, port and die, I don't know. But I think this is a lot quicker and easier to deal with, and if you're in tactician or lower, you can always reload. You can always buy an invisibility potion to cover your butt and try again even faster, okay? That pretty much does it, so let's actually combine the pieces. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have all 3 pieces now. Let's bring them on over. Here we go. And if you didn't already know, the way this works is just right click any of the 3 and just combine them. You're starting with that piece, so just use the other 3, and before you know it, kabam. We have the Mourning Frost. Go ahead and equip it. Doesn't matter what class you're using, it'll use your spell modifier to cast the Ray of Frost, and there you go. That'll do it. Alright, anything else I have to say? Combine the pieces. The staff is yours as early as level 3, even as early as stepping into the grove, technically. You know, like I said, go check out the other videos. This was a nice chill video, Sub-Zero in the subterranean Underdark. You guys stay frosty, and I'll check you in the next one, alright? Take it easy, guys.